Here is an update for BlackCoin to the BTC using the Poloniex price feed. So in this one, which is currently in a daily chart, again, very clean, empty slate without any markings of pattern or waves. First thing I usually do before I even start counting any wave is look for patterns. If I draw a horizontal line, about across the tops, and the same across the bottoms, we can pretty much see a bit of a channel coming in. And channeling is quite common in cryptocurrencies. And as I've said before, there are certain unique personality traits in cryptocurrencies that are very different from equities. And that's why for eliticians who are very used to counting and analyzing equities, you have to be a little bit careful once you start for the first time jumping into cryptos, because you kind of really have to become intimately knowledgeable about the nuances or the personality traits, as I often call them. So it is not always applicable to put and overlay a cookie cutter Elliott wave assessment without the consideration of these personality traits. And one of the very commonality of it is channeling, and within the channel to have wedges, not wedgies, wedges, or downward pointing symmetrical triangles. And this is the most common type, probably also second most common in pattern. First most common will be the cup and handle patterns. And the reason why it's so common is because it allows a 5-wave degree of consolidation. A triangle is counted as A, B, C, D, E. So it does allow usually longer time extension as well as price extension too into the correction. So you can have one and then you can have another one. You might be thinking, oh, here's a breakout, but then again, you've got yet another symmetrical triangle in progress here too. And that is why a lot of people can get faked out. Many of the equity analysts might say, oh, here is a symmetrical triangle, a breakout. Okay, all-time new highs could be expected now, and then kaput, makes a lower low. How can that be possible? It is in cryptos. It's not possible. It's highly probable and very common. And the undertone of all of that that's pulling and causing this kind of time and price extension of the correction is a syndrome that I often call the hurry up and wait syndrome. All the vertical moves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in impulse, are followed by a correction that is very long and slow. And then an equity analyst would say, oh, well, I got tricked here. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Here's another one. If it breaks out, oh, another one's going to happen. And then you're going to miss the whole rally. That's what happens when you don't have intimate knowledge of the instrument that you're trying to analyze. And just like you get to know a person, getting to know a cryptocurrency takes time, a bit of a relationship, observation. And that's how you know and identify the unique nuances as to which patterns are preferred, which counts are preferred, and so on. So it's channeling, got the very common, let's draw out all the wedges right here. Another one that broke out, and boy, it came right back down as well. Again, another fake. So this could be potentially a fractal in play. What I'm saying is, within this broad channel, you have this fractal right here, and then you have another fractal going on, potentially. And we may be equivalent to right here with right here. So you may clearly expect a rise followed by another triangle. And this will probably bring us into what time frame? We will probably do this one rise sometime into June, and then another sizable correction, which I'm projecting sometime in across the board, I think, for the cryptosphere. And then into fall, another sizable rise would be likely. And that sizable rise into the fall of 2018, seasonality wise, would be probably something that brings about 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 towards that upper end of the channel once again. So you've got a rise crash, rise crash. And once this correction is finished, we've got one more coming, and more than likely it'll come right back down again as well, unless this upper line is breached and a new trend is established upwards. The caveat for this is that the lower support line must hold. This support line must hold against any decisive breach downwards. All right, I hope you found this to be helpful. I didn't add the elliott waves. I will next time, but I think this suffices for now. Elliott waves, we will just repeat the first cycle, second, and third cycle up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have a good day.